Greetings, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to cook some beer braised beef short ribs on the Kamado Joe Classic. So let's get started. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to light up the Joe. I'm going to use one of my Kamado Joe fire starter cubes. I'm going to light it up and I'm going to let it burn right here in the middle of the pile for about 10 minutes with the lid open. Okay, I've put my accessory rack in here and I've put a couple of chunks of peach wood on for some smoke. I'm going to lay my heat deflectors right here on the accessory rack. And then I'm going to put my half moon grill grates in the elevated position right on top of that. We're going to let the Kamado Joe Classic settle in at about 250 degrees. So I'm going to close my bottom vent to about that position. And I'm going to close the slider on the top vent and leave the daisy wheel fully open until we start to get up to temperature. And any temperature adjustments I need to make, I'll make by adjusting the daisy wheel. I'll either close it up a little bit or I'll open the slider a little bit if we need to go hotter or cooler. Okay, I've got a couple pounds of beef short ribs trimmed down to single bone, and I'm going to hit these with a little bit of salt and freshly ground black pepper before we put them on the grill. Okay, I've got my grill stabilized at just under 250 degrees, and we're going to put each of these short ribs on here, and we're going to let these smoke for about an hour or so just to get some smoke to these guys before we go to the braising process. We're going to close the lid up and go for an hour at 250. Okay, while our short ribs are smoking there, we're going to make the rest of this. I've got a 6-quart Dutch oven over medium-high heat. I'm going to put in about 1/4 cup of olive oil, and then we're going to dump in, I've got 1 coarsely chopped onion, and we're going to sweat those down for just a couple of minutes. After the onions have sweated down a little bit, I've got 2 peeled and sliced carrots and about 3 ribs of chopped celery. We're going to add that, let that sweat in there for about 5 minutes. Okay, after our veggies have softened up, we're going to add a bottle of New Belgium's Fat Tire. That's just my beer of the day, so add whatever you like. We're going to add a whole bottle. We're going to follow that with a cup of chicken stock, followed by 2 cups of tomato sauce. I've got a nice healthy sprig of fresh thyme, a couple of sprigs of fresh oregano, couple sprigs of fresh rosemary, and I'm going to shake in about a teaspoon or so of granulated garlic. We're going to mix that up and let this come back to a rolling boil. Okay, after we've brought this back up to a simmer, I'm going to add a dash of salt to taste, and you'll want to check this to make sure you get the consistency like you like it. Okay, I've taken my short ribs off the grill. They're, partially cooked. We're going to put all of these right into the braise. And then we're going to give those a good stir around to get them all down in there, all coated. And we're going to take this off the burner. We're going to put the lid on it and take it back to the grill. Okay, I've opened up the vents a little bit on the grill. We want to raise the grill temperature up to about 300 to 325. I'm going to set my Dutch oven right in the center of the grill. I'm going to take the lid off and we're going to let this go uncovered for about a half an hour or so at 300 to 325 to reduce that liquid a little bit. Okay, this has actually been going for about 40 or 45 minutes, and I've got about the amount of reduction I want to have there. So now all we're going to do is put the lid on and we're going to let this go for another hour. Okay, I believe Our short ribs are about done here. We're going to have a peek. Oh yeah, that's looking good. So we're going to take this inside and let it cool just a little, and then we'll plate some of that up. Okay, we're ready to plate up a little meal here. So I've cooked up a little white rice that we're going to put right in the middle of the plate, and then we're going to dip out a couple of these short ribs, lay them right on top of the rice, and this stuff is fall off the bone tender today. This is the same process we use for the ossobuco. So we're gonna put that right there. Then we're gonna dip just a little bit of the sauce here with the veggies in it right on top. And man, I wish you could just smell this. This stuff looks outstanding. Smells delicious. We'll have a little taste off of one of these. It's just super, super tender. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh man, that is some melt in your mouth beef. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to shut down and go have dinner. So give this a try. Give this braising and Dutch oven cooking technique a try on your Kamado Joe. You're gonna love it. Works beautifully. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Kamado Joe, and leave us a comment on the video. Until next time, this is John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.